and I started in September 1919. I can tell you that it was considered to be a very high-class school, and the examination results were extraordinarily high under the headmastership of Mr. A.T. Warren. All the teaching staff were either graduates of Oxford or Cambridge at that time. But of course the First World War intervened, and when they started again, which was when I was there in 1919, they were hard put to find staff only from Oxbridge. And so we had people, but always the best graduates possible, because Mr. Warren's idea was to make it a really first-class school, which he managed so to do. It was very scheduled. 9 o'clock we assembled in the hall, and of course the collect for the day was read, prayers were read, everybody attended, and except the Jewish people, and they came later. So everybody was looked after, and so that's how the day started. When the collect was read, we had prayers, and then the headmaster would give out notices, and if there were any reprimands, they were also given out to make you feel ashamed. And then we all drifted to our various classrooms. The morning had a large portion always given over to maths, as I remember, and had to fight my way along with that. I wasn't naturally good, but the last period would be English, history, geography and all those sorts of things, but maths, English, they were of paramount importance at Southgate. Not such a bad idea, really. The afternoon we had a very short session, 2 to 4, a very short session of a lesson of artistic value in the afternoon, and then it was sport. We were so lucky, we had beautiful playing fields then, and there was room for running and hockey and football, a cricket pitch, tennis courts. You know, we were very lucky because it was all sold, all that land, after the war, after the Second World War. I look back on my school days at Southgate as very fortunate ones.
Well, registration straight. Yes, you had your class teacher. She just went from one class to another, had playtime, and you rushed off at 12 o'clock. You've got to be back for 1:30. I think it was, you know, solid lessons and the homework. But I mean, there wasn't television. There was nothing to stop you doing your homework. I mean, I took general school, and then I didn't know about this geography prize till I won it, you see. And there's the letter there which says, got the Arthur Thomas Symonds Prize for the best girls' paper. There was one for a girl and one for a boy, and 10,000. I don't know, but it was, Miss Rogers was so good. I mean, I got it right.
At a very difficult time in the country's history, because the backcloth in 1938 was Neville Chamberlain, the Prime Minister, his negotiations with Adolf Hitler, and there was great uncertainty as to whether we were going to war or not. Well, we did in 1939, my second year at school, and I can clearly remember the privations that the staff went through and the pupils. Every time there was a warning, we all trooped down to the air raid shelters in the playing field. And I remember being off with a cold one day, and it was that day when a bomb landed a few feet from the air raid shelter, And I was sorry that I had that cold, because I would like to have been there and had a bit of excitement. One didn't think of the dangers, one just thought of what you'd missed. The one I remember most as being enjoyable, because I liked it and wasn't bad at it, came top I think once, was chemistry. And that was run by Willie Auger, who was a very good teacher and eventually of course became head.
My name's David Cooper, and I was at school from 1946 until 1953. But I know a bit about the school before that. It was my older brother, who was 9 years older than I. He started at the school in 1937, I think, and left in 1942. So he was there during the early years of the war. And like a lot of people of his time, actually went into the war and was one of the paratroopers dropped over Germany in the crossing of the Rhine. Fortunately he survived, although from the honours boards that can still be seen in the hall at the school, a great number of former pupils died in both the two world wars. In, I think, around about 1950, after many years, the school was redecorated and painted throughout. The walls were painted, and before that, the walls were absolutely covered with what we now call graffiti. Only it was people's names. People signed their names and the date all over the walls. And in a lot of schools, like Harrow, they're very proud of this, and they show you Winston Churchill's signature. And also, some of the boys would carve their names into the desk. And one boy I remember very well, Bert Sherville, in the first year carved his name in great big letters on his desk. And all that happened to him is that he was sent down to Palmer's Green to buy some wood filler and to fill in the letters. He got, I don't know if it was by accident or not, I doubt it, but he got a light coloured wood filler, so filling in the marks where he carved his name out actually made it stand out much more, made it much more prominent.
We used to have an assembly every morning, a religious assembly. The headmaster used to give a little talk, one of the prefects used to read the lesson, we all used to sing hymns, and I remember having to go into the hallway and all lining up in silence, and then the headmaster coming down the side, usually in his flowing gown, to come and take the assembly. The only time we actually mixed the sexes, boys were allowed to go with the girls, was when you're in the fourth year, and they used to have dancing lessons during the lunchtime, ballroom dancing, and I can remember being a third year and looking through the hall doorway thinking, oh, I long to be in the fourth year so that I can learn how to do ballroom dancing.
I was trying to explore the origins of these four, why there were four cathedral cities.
Well, we had one term in which to meet all the house masters and mistresses, to meet after school and discuss how we were going to run this thing and how it would work. And one of the things was that we'd have to devise names for the houses. The one school didn't want the house names that the other had, and vice versa. And so we went through goodness knows how many ideas, and eventually a lady, it was Miss Fugle, who was the senior mistress at, or previous senior mistress at Oakwood, who suggested that we might use the cathedral cities. We could have used various parts around us, like Chase and so on, but that was already used in the grammar school and been turned down because it was not representative of the two. That's how it came about.
It is to me a pleasure, it is to me a pride, it is to me a very great honour to do that which I have been invited to do and which I now formally do. Glad to think that I haven't forgotten to do it. I declare this new school open.
My name's Greg Monks. I'm the librarian for the school. I've been here about 15 years now. I'm also one of the staff governors of the school. Great school. There's some great kids here. There's a great feeling of camaraderie amongst the staff. I've had a great time. We are going to be celebrating 100 years of Southgate School this year. On July the 14th, we've got a special open day we're hoping it's going to be a great success. And all I have to say from now is happy birthday, Southgate School.